Welcome to Cascadia Hockey Podcast. We want to invite you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, like and rate us and let us know how you like Cascadia, how you like Aaron, Anya, Kyle, Derek, Corey, any of the other schmucks on the show. Let us know. Also, if you are so inclined, join us in our Facebook group, Cascadia Hockey Club. Just search us in the Facebook search feature. Thanks. Enjoy the episode.
Dead by the boatload, the mirror, smoke, scare folk, fears and hopes, the first past the post, lesser evil host, and the demon feed off of the poles and offer your votes and hopelessness.
Welcome. Whoa, we're going to try that again. That was super
No, that was
loud.
good because I was going to make fun of you.
Fuck off.
No, I love it. You can't. You cannot start over. There is no starting over.
Fuck off.
Okay, so welcome to Cascadia Hockey Podcast. That was my name is Aaron Piper. That was my wife telling me what to do, which is a snippet of our daily life.
Standard operating procedure
Yes.
around the McMurray household.
Absolutely.
She's got the SOP book written for that one. So anyway, welcome to Cascadia Hockey Podcast. Aaron, Anya, Derek here, live and in person.
I just raised my hand.
Yes, he did.
No one saw it.
Okay.
How do you supposed to do the air quotes?
It's happening right now.
It's air quotes.
It sounded like you just were like cutting up a body for disposal, is what that sounded like.
We
How do you
are.
know what that sounds like?
Hey, who the fuck is that?
Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my cave.
Is that Halzenstein?
Oh, man.
Yo, Dookie, pick up the phone.
What?
What up? How you been, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I
Finally got a Tuesday
nice.
off.
Dude, I swear, like, I could have like one day of work in a week, and it would be on Tuesday. They're like, we don't need you to come in, but we're gonna have you come in to just clean shit or something. I don't know.
Can you just stand at the glass for a couple hours and stare at us weirdly while we flood the ice?
Yeah. I do that a lot, actually. That's actually part of it. So,
Nice.
been really busy. This is my only day off this week. I've got practices and games all week.
Beautiful.
All week.
Because they're back in town. They've been gone forever, haven't they? By they, we mean the Vegas Golden Knights.
It was like 4.5 weeks, and then we had Carolina had a practice the day before the game. Then they had the game. Then they had a day off, and then I was working their practice yesterday. They practiced like 3 days in our arena, and then I've got like St. Louis and New York and Washington next, like all in a row.
Beautiful.
All in a row.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful. Well, you know, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, hello, thank you, by the way. Who we've got on the phone right now is a Mr. Kyle Houts. Houts used to be involved with this show every time we recorded. He's been through the highs, he's been through the lows, and then one day the Vegas Golden Knights, no, not technically the Vegas Golden Knights, but the you work for MGM Grand, right?
T-Mobile Arena, yeah, it falls under MGM Resorts International.
Okay, so MGM said we need you to come help us with our ice crew in Vegas, and Kyle said, well, you know, the Tri-Cities is such a happening place. If you can't, well, okay, I'll come. So he left us last summer, but his love for the game, his love for Cascadia hasn't gone away. So we've brought him back. This is only the second time since you've been gone, dude.
Yeah, it has. Because I think it was like October, maybe earlier.
Something like that.
Was the last time I called in?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was earlier. I think it was actually preseason last year. So
yeah, it was before Anya started too.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And Derek. No, I don't think Derek was there when I called in last time.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say anything. They just put me in the corner and said, shut up.
That was like his third episode. So
It's like we
you were a baby.
we need a body here, but we don't need it to say anything.
hey, Derek. So this dude that we had that we really liked, he left. Can you just fill in that spot for us? So.
We're gonna give you a mic. It's not on or anything, but you know.
And I've still said and done nothing that's ever contributed.
Fuck that
so.
shit. You fuck the self-deprecation,
No, wait,
man.
I've actually really enjoyed listening and catching up. All you all are doing great, and I always look forward to the new episodes. I listen to you guys like while I'm flooding the ice at T-Mobile Arena. So
Nice.
because we're standing all apart from each other, on this like long ass hose that goes all the way across the ice, and we can't really like talk to each other because it echoes too bad. And so we always bring headphones. We just kind of listen to podcasts or music while we do it. So
Awesome.
I was listening to you guys and make sure I'm up to date on everything. And
and
I
then
gotta
you hear when we like make fun of you or call you out or
I've been laughing my ass off at the fuck you, Kyle, and oh my god, when so I thought it was really funny when Corey did it, and then Anya was like right after that, yeah, fuck you, Kyle, and then like episodes later, Parker did it. I was like,
That's right.
What? It was so funny. It was so good. So yeah, definitely makes you miss you guys. I'm hoping to make my way to Tri-City soon for a visit. I was going to go in January during our long break, but I actually had plenty of work to do down here, so I wasn't able to make it up.
you had to be an adult.
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
When
I was gonna say you don't want to leave Vegas in January. Come in July when it's 114 there and it's only 101 here.
101 here.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, seriously.
So you can cool off a little bit.
Yeah, the winter here has been pretty mild. Like it's cold in the mornings, but around the daytime it gets to like 65, 70 or so. So
That's pretty sweet.
That's too
we're
bad.
talking about the weather.
Yes, we are.
Now we just need a traffic update from Anya.
There's cars.
There's cars outside, and mine rattles.
Yeah, it rattles a little bit.
It
so
does.
It's a little old.
It's character. It gives a character.
Absolutely.
Well, so now that all of you listeners are caught, well, the 4 listeners that are left right now.
No, there's
are caught
7.
up. Seven
We have
that are
7
left.
that stay.
No,
pretty
there's
much through.
6 because
6.
one of them's on the show.
That's right.
Oh,
Kyle.
Yeah,
God damn it! Thanks a lot. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Kyle.
So there, our numbers just went down by 12%.
Great.
And there's probably 5 because Parker's cooking his
Omelet.
spinach omelet.
Spinach
With
omelets,
turkey
right?
bacon.
With turkey
Which
bacon.
after the episode, I was like, turkey bacon? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, she called you out, Parker. She did.
Go for the real stuff.
He's a
turkey
finely
bacon.
tuned athlete. He needs that lean protein.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. But no, I don't. Because who wants turkey bacon?
Not I, said the blind man to the deaf dog. Anyway, enough talk about turkey bacon. Let's talk cheddar cheese.
That blasphemy of existence.
Let's talk cheddar. Let's talk earning your cheddar in the game of hockey. Because recently, this is what I want to start with today. I want to start with hatred. Everybody's looking at me like, what the fuck?
You
Brandon
always go
Manning.
dark.
Huh?
You always go dark.
It sells. Darkness and
true.
sex sells.
That's true. Continue.
So, Brandon Manning, who is a player with who's he play for now? Rockford, I believe.
A team.
The Rockford Peaches.
Yeah, that's Racine, I thought. The Rockford Ice Hawk. Am I saying that right? Hold on.
The Rockford Ice Hogs?
No, never mind. He plays for the Bakersfield Condors, okay, which is like, halfway across the country. So Brandon Manning, AHL player. He has had some time in the NHL. He actually used to play for the Flyers, but he now plays for the Bakersfield Condors. He was recently suspended for using a racial slur. And
Racist piece of shit.
yes, and every time I hear these stories, it makes me sick and sad all at the same time. Because it's sad that this shit still goes on, and people just use it as it's part of the culture. Fuck that shit. It's not part of the culture. Shut your fucking mouth. It's
Agreed.
not cool to be a racist at any level, for any reason, at any time, anywhere. So let me just make that clear. So anyway, Brandon Manning gets suspended. I don't remember what the suspension was, how long it was. That's not important to this story. What's important is the first game back from that suspension, Brandon Manning was playing the Ontario Reign. The Bakersfield Condors were playing the Ontario Reign. 2 minutes into that game, Brandon Manning took the ice for his first shift. On the other end of that shift was a player named Boko Imama. And I know that just sounds like I'm being silly, but that's his name. Boko Imama, I believe, is how you pronounce that without slaughtering it. Who he threw the racial slur at that got him suspended. Boko decided, let's fight. Let's just lay it out there like men on the ice.
Put him on the ice, bro.
And Boko walked away as the victor in that one. Brandon Manning took his punches.
Manning was never on a winning side of that.
No.
Like, and I started watching it. I read the caption, and the first thing in my head, I was like, I hope this guy gets knocked the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I hate seeing players get injured in most situations, but when you're a racist piece of shit, just get wrecked.
Yeah.
Just get that every game.
Well, and a broken nose isn't going to keep you from playing. So break his fucking nose.
So definitely, dude got exactly what he deserved.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'll get more.
But no, that kind of thing just doesn't go away. But
Yeah,
there's he didn't have a chance. I guarantee you, he knows he's going to have to stand there and get his ass whipped, because if he fights back, and I mean, what if he would have whooped Boko's ass, right? Like that's just bad for him. So he really had no chance. He had to just stand there. I didn't see the fight, so maybe he was, but I guarantee you, he's like, look, I just got to take my lumps here, and maybe this will go away.
I think he knew squaring up that he was doomed.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm actually.
Yeah, he's showing it to me right now.
Fight right now as we record. If you guys, if you listening want to see it, all you got to do is just search Boko, Boko, and Manning fight.
Swift justice.
Swift justice. Yes.
So do you think he
he's
knows
not
he was
fighting.
in the wrong?
Oh, he knew he screwed up.
Knows.
Did he come out and apologize? Did he
I don't
say
know.
anything?
Yeah. I don't know.
He threw a total of 2 shoulder punch pads to his back. So.
It's like I'm gonna look like I'm involved.
He
here,
did the
but
right thing
beat my ass.
by standing there and taking his lumps. I think it was perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Here's I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here. I totally what?
Why?
Because I want. There was a perspective I was thinking of though.
Fuck, man.
Here's something I was thinking of. As far as the game of hockey goes, it's the justice that everybody wants. I want it. I heard it. I saw it. I thought it was great. Does it go deeper into the human psyche to change the racist culture? And I think back to what Kwame said a few episodes ago about having conversations that are open and candid, and, hate doesn't drive out hate. Only love can do that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then, I don't mean to sound, I'm torn here. I love it. I cheer for it. I'm glad it happened.
Oh yeah.
Does it change anything though? Does it help change the racist fuck culture?
I think what the biggest issue there is with that is having the conversation is great, and being able to display that teaching moment to somebody when they've been wrong in a case like that. I feel like it works. Although on the internet in the comment section, nobody's there to learn. Nobody's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go into this comment section with an open mind and hope somebody changes my mind on being a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. Like, they're going to go in there because they're perfectly safe behind their computer, and they're going to talk shit. And that's just the sad truth of it. And I've worked in a lot of online capacities, and I see it so often, and it's people, it's just because they can get away with it.
Right.
And all they got to do is change their username or, use a different platform or something. And they're fine. They get away with it. So, I think some people, the teaching moments do work a lot. And I think having the conversation is where it needs to start, but
not online.
It's so tough online. It's so tough. It's a lost cause. It really is.
I think in this,
when it comes to the comment section, not a lost cause in general, because it works. I've seen it work. I've seen people just kind of be like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, I was so dumb. I wasn't perfect when I was a kid. I've said shit that isn't in my vocabulary anymore, and I was an asshole then, and I've learned since then that you shouldn't say these things because it's bad. It's super bad, and it's not going to help anything progress. It's not going to help anyone in any situation. I've cut so many words and terms and jokes out of my word arsenal. It's I'm glad that I'd seen what kind of damage that does. Not that I've ever been in a situation where I've said something racist to somebody and they beat the shit out of me, but that hasn't happened, thankfully. But you know, and I would hate to be that. I would hate to be that person at all. Like, how ignorant does that look? You know, to just, you know, at all. Like, I don't know how that's justified for anybody anymore. Like, why do you feel like it's okay to say these things? Like, does that make you feel good? Does it make you? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. But people still do it. Yeah. And I hope that that they do learn eventually, and I hope that they change their ways and their mindset on things like that, and realize that even if they think it's a joke or it's, you know, whatever excuse they're using, you know, that it's not funny, it's not cute, or nobody thinks you're, you know, you're really anything worth more than the dirt under my shoe.
Right.
Like, that's just, you know, that's just how it is. So
right.
Well, in this particular instance, within the confines of the game of hockey, the lesson was served, right? I mean, it's set up for that reason, so that things don't, you know, get worse.
Right.
So they don't get the hockey stick, you know, slashed across the legs and permanently injured. You know, hockey's set up to be able to settle your differences, and that's how it goes. But the difference is, for this kid now, where does he take this, right?
Yeah,
he got punched in the face on the ice. Now, if he starts going to middle schools or, you know, speaking out and saying, look, I was a freaking jackass.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson. This is not cool. So that's where it has to go, in my opinion. Otherwise, it just doesn't get better. There's always going to be that guy.
Absolutely. I think it has to be addressed in that aspect where he's like, I'm sorry, I was a douchebag.
Yeah. So I was curious, like, you know, did he feel remorseful or whatever? I just looked it up. And he actually is quoted. He said, last night I made comments to an opposing player that were stupid and offensive. After the game, I spoke with the opposing player in person, which I'm very grateful for. He allowed me to apologize, and I took full responsibility for what I said. To say I've learned from the situation is an understatement, and I promise to be better. And I you know, I hope he follows through with that. And
I love that, though.
Yeah, like, it's interesting that even after this, they still, you know, threw knuckles at each other.
He was probably like, yeah, I forgive you, but I'm still going to beat the shit out of you next time I see you.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
That was probably like how that went. Like, at the end, he's like, yeah, okay, you know.
But, I'm still going to punch you in the nose.
I'm still going to fuck you up.
And he was probably like,
I accept your apology, but you do realize, to save face, I have to beat the shit out of you in front of, you know, 8,000 fans on a Tuesday night. So,
but I just hope people.
But let me play the devil's. But did he have to?
To beat the shit out of him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He had to.
But what about this whole...
Because violence is a part of the game. It's just that simple.
Okay.
Well, and so that goes back to within the confines of the structure of the game of hockey.
Right.
I hope there isn't any 13-year-old kids out there thinking that that's really the way to handle it in the schoolyard, because that I disagree with. On the ice, it's okay.
I think in this... I'm gonna take it a step further, though, and think that in this situation, if this happened in the schoolyard... it would have been awesome to watch Boko immediately give Manning a beat down, to be honest with you. There's certain things. I mean, I'm with you, Derek. I always teach my kids, like,
but would he have?
If I know that you're picking the fights, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. If you're fighting to stand up for yourself, that's different.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But we're on the same page with that.
But, you know, in the schoolyard, would Boko have done that? Or would he have said, hey, man, that's not cool?
Wasn't he in the schoolyard when it happened?
No, you're on a level playing field on the ice.
Right.
Because I would be willing to say, in real life, if this happened, Manning's probably surrounded by 10 of his racist fuck friends, feeling empowered to call a black person.
Let's say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
That's a broad generalization.
I love doing those. I love broad strokes. It makes me feel good about myself. Trying
to fend off the lawsuits.
Yeah, I know. They're coming eventually. But yeah, no, I like it. I like what happened for sure. I like the fact that the AHL stood up for it and said there has to be. It was a 5-game suspension that I just looked at. That's a pretty significant suspension. I've seen hits to the head that could end a guy's career that only get 2 or 3 game suspensions.
Yeah.
So they take that pretty seriously. Good for them. Yeah, I think, you know, the fact that he went to him after the game and said, I'm sorry, that shows some class for sure. He didn't go out there and try to prove himself in the fight. He took his punches like he needed to. Now you move on from it.
Right.
And
I'm
with
you,
you,
over
Derek.
Between those two guys.
It should be.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can have a beer together at some point. I believe I'm all about second chances. You're going to fuck up in life. You're going to make mistakes. And some of them are a little bit steeper than others. But I do believe that everybody should have a second shot, and even sometimes a third and a fourth, depending on what it is.
I think if it's genuine, yeah, for sure. But I would never want to have a beer with him.
Well, I'm just saying, I would never let you have a beer with him, just so you know. Yes, I did just act like the overlord there. You wouldn't be allowed to have a beer with Brandon Manning.
Yes, sir.
He talks big on the air, folks,
Right.
but he'll be apologizing when the mics get shut off.
I got to get it out somewhere, man. I'm dying inside.
Hey, you know what? You asked me to come on this show.
I did, and I'm glad I did. Thank you for being a part of this only thing that I had left.
Oh, that's horrible.
I'm just messing.
Hey, let's go back to that sentiment I just said. You asked me to come on to this show.
Yes, and I'm very glad that I'm happy you were part of.
Now he's like, damn it.
Anyway, moving on.
Somebody
Now,
needs a hug.
now that we've started off with the racist fuck part of the show,
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. Let's talk about Carter Hart. Everybody okay with talking about Carter Hart? Carter Hart had missed.
Have you ever heard that man say that on Spittin' Chicklets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
The
Sorry,
Rear
I didn't interrupt.
Admiral or whatever his name is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cat a hat.
Yeah, so Hart misses 9 games with an injury, which is, Carter's not really known to get injured a whole lot, so that was pretty significant for him. He comes back last night. Coming back, he unveils a new mask, which, Kyle and I have had this conversation on air before, how much we love good goalie mask art. The only qualm I have with Carter is he still likes the glossy finish. I'm all about the matte finish myself.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
I love the matte finish on a mask. But he unveiled it yesterday, and it was a tribute to one Mr. Razor Ray Emery, which love the guy, hate the guy, whatever. Big part of folklore, I guess you could say, in Philadelphia, wherever he played. I mean, he was a tough dude. The guy used boxing training to stay in shape. He was a badass. Braden Holtby probably has nightmares about him. And a lot of people talk about that fight, the fact that, Emery skated Holtby down and beat the shit out of him, whatever it is, what it is. But I love that Carter painted that scene on that helmet with Emery beating the shit out of Holtby. But just at 21, how old's Carter right now? 21, 22. Second year in the league. At that young age, I made a comment, not only does the kid know how to play hockey, he also understands the culture around the game. Like at that age, to think about putting somebody on that you never played with, you probably never met the guy, and to honor him like that, I think that's huge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he seems to really have embraced Philadelphia culture too. Like, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but like, he's always posting about going to games from the other teams. Like, he's always supporting the other teams in the area.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And with this mask, it just shows that he's really gotten into like the history of the Flyers, and he's really embracing his role. And yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
It sets a tone. It says,
Absolutely.
listen, they are changing the culture in Philadelphia. It's been so mediocre for too long. With the coaching change and everything that's been going on there, this is kind of like, that's a leader right there. This kid, as young as he is, he's stepping up and saying, listen, let's embrace this.
Yep.
Follow me. And let's go get this done. Let's bring it back to when Philadelphia was feared.
Yeah.
On the ice,
Yep. I think it's perfect. Not only is he an NHL goalie, he's a Philadelphia Flyer goalie. Mm-hmm. And I said before, I had my doubts. I loved watching the kid play in Everett, but I have to say there was many times where he came to town here and Tri-City made him look suspect, and I wondered how that was going to play out, but he's done really well. He's still a young goalie, man. I mean, he's got a lot of room for improvement, but he's also been
Is this his sophomore year?
Yeah, it's his
So
second
isn't there
season.
things
kind of
that-
his first full season. Last year, he didn't get called up till December.
Oh, okay.
First game against the Red Wings, he won. I'm going to throw that out there, Kyle. Anyway, but yeah, so
I don't get it.
his first game
That's
ever
like
in the
hitting
NHL
a man when he's down.
was
I
against
don't
the
think-
Red Wings.
I don't think the Red Wings have won
And he won.
anything.
They're so. I'm honestly like rooting for the minus 100 goal differential. I want to see it happen.
Oh.
Like, I love my Red Wings, but I'm kind of like anxious to see what Yzerman's got up his sleeve because he's got something.
Oh, for sure.
He's got something.
Well, it's kind of like watching the Americans right now and wondering, can they get past that dozen goals given up mark? Because they've done it a couple times already. Can we get to that unlucky 13 this year? So,
Yeah.
there's something about it, man. I think there's, as a fan, you kind of embrace it. You embrace the suck because you're like, in a couple years, it's going to be turned around and we'll know who the true fans were.
The hard part about it is, though, and I've heard this out of players that, come out of Buffalo, like they leave Buffalo and they kind of like talk about their experiences there.
Yeah.
Is they were in such a culture of losing that it was just kind of the thing. And that's the bad part is you could get complacent with it and just kind of fall into it. It's like, oh, we're going to lose tonight anyway. Let's get a beer after this, kind of thing. Like that's the shitty thing. And I hope that's not what's going on in Detroit or even Tri-Cities. Because it's so easy to fall into that. It's so easy to just kind of be like, whatever, we're going to lose. So whatever. Detroit did beat Boston the other night 3-1.
I know.
So there's that.
There is that. Well, it's kind of like on the flip side, the Flyers, they get beat by New Jersey 5-0, which was fucking embarrassment. And then they come out and they beat the Caps 7-2, and they beat the Panthers 4-1, both that are playoff teams.
I think the NHL sometimes suffers. Like you said, we're getting into injury season right now. These guys, these bodies are wearing down. They're playing a lot of minutes.
Yep. Dog days right now.
I think you have those games just like you do in the NHL where guys just take a game off.
For sure.
To preserve their body, and you'll get these weird, flip-flop games that don't make sense.
Especially if they're looking to be in the playoffs, right?
We're a little early because, trade deadline hasn't even happened yet. We're still a little early for teams to start shuffling lines to keep people healthy for the playoffs. But you're right. It's February 11th. It's the dog days of the season right now.
Yeah, so I think they just take a game off every once in a while, and that happens, which tells me, honestly, there could be too many games. You know what I mean? Like, you talk about player safety and player health. Every league right now is looking at what we have up in the league that the Wenatchee Wild is in. They realigned and they eliminated 2 games.
So did the
from the season.
And the WHL 2 seasons ago went from 72 down to 68. And they extended the length, the actual start date and end date of the season.
Spread it out.
It now ends a week later.
Right.
So you start to eliminate a lot of those 3 games and 3 nights. Right. You eliminate a lot of those weeknight games.
Ease the travel up.
Yep.
Which makes sense more in the WHL rather than, the pros they're hopping on a charter flight, and so that's a little bit different.
And the WHL, there's still a big concern about education and all that stuff,
Absolutely.
too. The more you're traveling, the more you're on the road, the less you're going to be doing your studies. So, speaking of the WHL, I'm looking at you because you had some questions.
I'm looking at you, kid.
Oh, yeah.
The other day, if you haven't
You're
joined
looking at me?
I'm looking at you, kid. I can't believe you don't know I'm looking at you. The other day, I posted something in Cascadia Hockey, the Facebook group, which if you haven't joined yet, would you please fucking join Cascadia Hockey?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Join the goddamn group.
Yeah, for real. Just join the group. It's real easy. You just
pie and punch.
you just
Excuse me,
search Cascadia Hockey.
I was under the impression there was going to be punch and pie.
There isn't any.
We talk about anything and everything Cascadia Hockey related, even beyond that sometimes. Gritty shows up from time to time in the conversation.
Gritty.
Anyway,
Fucking gritty.
There's a lot of people right now, and it's not just Tri-City. We're seeing that a lot because that's hometown. But there's a lot of people right now, they're like, man, my team sucks. They're so bad. I'm speaking WHL right now. My team's just been bad for a long time. Here's the deal. This season, you kind of want to be bad. If you're not going to make the playoffs, if you're not going to make a run, you kind of want to be bad. Not that you tank it, not that you don't play with pride, but it's okay to be at the bottom of the standings because right now there's 3 players that are probably going to apply for exceptional status. We'll get into that in just a second, what that means. But right now there's kids that are tearing up Bantam quite a bit that are draft eligible this year at 15 years old to come into the WHL and be drafted 1, 2, 3. These kids are incredible. Their names are escaping me right now. I don't remember. Oh, Connor Bedard.
Jaeger. And then Heat.
Yeah. Heidt, right?
Yeah.
Height or something. So those 3 kids should be all applying for exceptional status. They're going to go 1, 2, 3. Connor Bedard's kind of like the consensus number 1, and then the other ones will fall 2 or 3. They're going to change your team right away. The only problem is they're 15. So under league rules, they can only play 5 games in that first season. applying for exceptional status would allow that to go away. The WHL has never granted exceptional status. There's been a few applications for it. The only people I can remember from like the OHL, I believe Connor McDavid had exceptional status. Do you have the names?
I can't remember anybody else, but I know Connor McDavid was one, but he wasn't part of the W.
No, he was in the OHL. Played for the Erie Otters.
I think, thinking back to that article, I think that it said there was only 5
total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor. Oh, no.
Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
You might not have. Is that the article?
It is, and I'm not.
And you're talking McDavid. Obviously, he was ready to play. I mean, he's a once-in-a-generation player.
You mean Tavares?
Tavares. Sorry.
Tavares was exceptional.
See, I don't pay attention to NHL. Sorry.
John Favreau? Is that what you said?
Aaron Ekblad.
Okay. Yep. Plays for
and
the
Sean
Florida
Day.
Panthers. Sean Day?
Sean Day. Incongruously Sean Day.
Yeah. Anybody here heard that name before?
And then have you heard of
Nope.
Shane Wright? He actually went first overall.
It's a dam down on the Columbia River.
Yeah, but those were the few that applied, and I think got it.
So Tavares and McDavid and Ekblad are all doing phenomenal. They're great players. But anyway, the whole point is it doesn't happen a whole lot. But you want these kids in your organization for sure. Anya, you brought up a good point.
I know.
Why don't you bring up that good point again for the listeners to hear?
So my only thing is, what makes them see, God damn it.
You're fine. Use your words,
Exceptional.
baby. What makes them exceptional?
Yeah, no, and I know what makes them exceptional. I know that they're talented, they're amazing at the level that they're at. But coming in to a league where your 15-year-old's going to be playing with 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, I think that's an issue. Like, I would not want my 15-year-old son playing with 20-year-olds in hockey.
Which is exactly why it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Right.
and
That's
it doesn't.
exactly
but why are
the
they?
reason.
Why do they think that they're? To me, it's like narcissism.
Well, I think that you have a certain level of player that the organization, the player's family, I think that they feel that they are on a level to be able to compete, and they want to not waste a year. They want to get them on the ice and be competitive earlier.
Right.
I think that they should definitely take the health of the player into serious consideration, which again, I think is exactly why the WHL has never done it. That, and we've discovered that they're drafted at 15 and not
Right.
16.
Yeah, the OHL and the Q do it at 16. The Dub is the only one
So,
at 15.
I mean, I think height, weight, muscle mass, I think they should, break these guys down biologically and see if they could handle it physically. Not that they're not fast skaters, not that they can't score in the WHL. It's not the talent of the player.
Yeah.
But the last thing I would want is a 15-year-old kid with all the talent in the world to write his own check for the rest of his life in the NHL, take one hit by a 20-year-old
Yeah.
and never play again.
Not only that, but the psychology aspect of it.
Well,
Like,
and
they're
I know
15.
I was just going to bring that up. If they apply for exceptional status, then the teams or the league would have to put them. A psychologist would have to talk to them and see what
And
their
actually,
maturity
yes,
level is.
it is
Sure.
exactly what happens.
Here's the other part of that, though. I just looked it up. Connor Bedard is 14 right now.
Oh my gosh.
He won't be 15 until July 17th.
I
And
don't think
he's the
there's
number
any way.
one.
I don't think there's any.
No.
So here's the deal: that there's 3 at the same time.
Maybe one.
Here's my hot take.
Maybe.
None of them.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't think any one of them does, because if they do one, they're gonna have a lot of shitstorm. Like, okay, why did he get it and not him and him? There's 3 at one time. It's
Yeah.
unprecedented. I think they're just
So it's
gonna
all or none,
I think they're
really.
just gonna shut this shit down. If it's not all 3, which I cannot see, I don't think it's gonna be any of them.
What do you think, Kyle?
I don't know. I'm still trying to think about, like, are they like expected to be like really high end
Oh yeah,
They
competitors?
show a ton of promise.
Connor Bedard is kind of
He's
being-
lighting the lamp 3-4 times a game.
Yeah,
I mean
he averages almost 3 points per game at the bantam level. I mean, he's played in like 40 some
Goodness.
games, and he has like 140 points or whatever this year.
So that's their
He's expected to be a generational talent.
and that's their argument is
Get him to the next level.
right.
now.
He's not.
Yeah.
This is not good for him because he's not being challenged. So there just isn't a place for him to go right now. You know what I mean?
You know what's interesting, though? I just thought about something. Our son was pretty talented in football, got to scholarships to go to school. Yeah, I did have a southern.
School.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia.
But he was a
Had me
freshman
about 17
looking
Dr.
to play on
Peppers.
varsity, and we were okay with that. And Ryan
he went to
was,
play with varsity.
He was on like practicing with the varsity team to go start playing with.
True, as a freshman.
Yeah. He's 15 and going to play with 18-year-olds.
16.
15
So
to
what's
probably
the
17-year-olds.
So that's interesting, and I was okay with
But
that.
think about Richland wasn't a very big team, so
I
it
think
didn't really matter.
It's a little different at that. I think that's a little different only because 15 to 17 isn't terribly different.
Well,
15 to
yeah.
20 is a long
But-
ways away.
Yeah.
Was
agree.
he like he was still like living with you guys and
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So like these kids, they're moving away
Yeah,
from
that's a
home. They're
good
living
way.
with a strange family and they're traveling a lot and they're just kind of thrown into it and like that could play a big part in like psychological aspects of it.
Yeah, are they ready for that kind of life?
He has
Yeah, exactly.
He has grown at the end of or the beginning of the season. He was listed 5'6", like 130, 140. He's now listed at 5'8", 165.
Well,
So he's bulking up a bit.
I'm sure the family put him with a nutritionist
Oh,
and
fuck
said,
yeah.
we got to get some weight on you or there's no chance. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's been in the gym and eating 5,000 calories of lean protein a
But
day.
then that puts me as like a mother, like you're grooming him
oh, you're absolutely
for
correct.
the
Okay.
Yeah.
NHL,
That's
and
the
I'm like,
world we live in.
that's kind of sad. What does that kid want? Has he been just trained to say, this is what I want? But what does he really, really want?
So I got to hang out with somebody who was groomed from day one, Michael Rasmussen. His family started grooming him from day one to be a hockey player.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that. Everybody around him will tell you that. And Razzie was all business, you know. I'm sure he had a good time away from the rink. I'm sure he had a good time, you know, in private, personal time. But when it came to hockey, he was all business. And I don't know how it weighed on him. I don't know.
Because I think it
I
should
never
be
got to know
fun.
Razzie. Kyle, I don't know how much you got to know Razzie. I mean, I worked with him on videos. He was a fun guy, super personable. But
He was always very quiet around me.
Yeah.
I spoke with him a few times, more so after he got drafted.
yeah. Well, you had a
once he-
connection there.
Yeah. I was just like sitting on the bench and I had a Wings hat on and he came out to watch practice and he came out and was, nice hat,
Yep. Watch yourself. Hey, put that Corona down and walk away.
We just lost him.
He died.
Kyle went away.
He was like, screw this.
He fucking died.
Oh my goodness. Let's get him back.
And you know what? I didn't know he was a Red Wings fan.
Sorry
What
about
the
that.
hell, dude? Dude, we thought you like just died live on the
Stroked
I
out.
was really like, God damn it, now we're going to have to edit it.
We don't even know the number to 911 in Vegas.
Did it make the number to 911 in Vegas? Operator, I need the number to 911 in Vegas. Over here.
Yeah.
That part is I
no.
could actually see myself doing that.
What's the
I
number
hit
for
a button. I have a button on my headphones that used to be mute.
Oh,
But I
it's
guess
now
not
hang up.
anymore. Apparently.
That's
I was just trying to mute
awesome.
so you didn't hear me like choke to death on my own saliva.
Yeah,
That
it's pretty
fucking-
gross. And the fact that we don't edit, that's just going to be gross.
No, this is great,
What's
dude.
the
This is great
timing so we
radio.
can at least give him a heads up?
The 36-minute mark. Oh, man, that was fun.
This will be your Instagram soundbite.
Absolutely.
The day Kyle
yeah.
died. Episode 57.
Oh, speaking of, we are almost to episode 69, boys.
60
And by the way, the
hashtag
Flyers,
69
the Flyers
boys.
win last night, put them at 69 points. So I think they should just
They
stop
should just
playing.
quit for the rest of the year.
Get behind that.
Anyway, so Razzie was all business. You know, Valimaki was another one. He was all business.
Yeah. So that is my
I don't know. Does the
question.
kid want it? You always have to ask that question. As a
Yeah,
parent, I
'cause
say,
they-
"Fuck you, kid. You don't get a choice. I make the choices for you until you're out of my
Well,
house."
yeah, and they get so much pressure at that young age, especially if their parents really, really want them to play like pro. You hear about it. You hear about these kids that
Yeah.
get a lot of the pressure from their parents, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's so much that they just lose interest. They don't want to do it anymore. They
Yep.
want to do their own thing. Look at Playfair.
Yeah.
He's a fashion designer now. And he loves it.
Yep.
So
And good for the family, allowing him to do that. In all honesty, what I just said, I'm joking hardcore. I've always told my kids, like, if you want to be involved with sports, I'm not going to pressure you. You pick whatever sport you want to play. The only thing I say is if you're going to play, you got to finish the season.
Yes.
And then after that, if you don't like it, walk away from it. No, no whatever.
And actually, that's with anything, I think. Like, if you do it, you finish, you complete it.
I'm going to be 40 years old next month, and I still don't fucking know what I want to do when I grow up. So,
Wait, what?
what?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to be 40.
That's hot.
I know. But anyway, so yeah, it's a lot of pressure on these kids. I'm with Derek. I hope they don't get exceptional status. Give them another year in Bantam where they can go and their confidence can continue to
Agreed.
soar through the roof. They're going to come in as 16-year-olds and you're going to get 3 years out of them, 16, 17, 18-year-old, and that's going to be it. But they're going to...
I don't know what it
to
would
have them
take,
in your system.
I don't know what it would take for the WHL to even seriously consider someone at this point. Maybe
Unless they're built like an 18-year-old, I say
right.
it's not going to happen.
If they're 6'6" and 225 and they can handle it physically and mentally, of
yes,
course.
absolutely.
Or
Mark Lejoie, 16 years old, he's 6'4", 210.
I don't know.
But he's
if,
16.
Jesus.
He's not 14.
He's a
almost
big
15.
boy,
Yeah.
Kyle, and he's good.
I don't know if maybe the league they're playing in folds and they literally have no place to play. I just
See, that
It's
would
all
be
club
exceptional status to me. That, okay, these are the situation that happened. Like, it has to be perfectly aligned.
So Bedard's from North Vancouver. He's got a lot of options.
Yeah.
right.
So-
I'm just saying it would have to be some
However-
crazy extraordinary circumstance.
Yeah.
It would be really sad that if they don't get granted and then they decide to go somewhere else.
That's the other side of it. Like, if does the family throw a fit and say, well, if you're not going to give me exceptional, fine, I'm going to go commit to a college program. I'm going to go commit to, a high school team somewhere. I don't know.
Well, they're not going to a college program at 15.
No, but they could go at 16 or 17.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They could go at 16 to a college.
I mean, they would,
But then
they would
that's
have to graduate high school early, or
Then
Which that's the
even
other thing, though. A lot of these
scarier.
kids
A lot
are
of work.
groomed to go
Yeah.
through that.
But that's
really
even
quick.
I know.
scarier. 16 playing with 23, 24-year-olds in college. Like, it's the same kind of boat.
I know.
How can you do that? Ugh.
Well, it's the same reason the NHL or the NHL, the NFL won't allow players before they finish their sophomore year to
Right.
enter the draft.
That, yeah.
It's for the exact reason that they don't get their head taken off in the first week of the
Yep.
season.
Yeah.
NBA's different. It's physical. It's not as
But it's
physical.
a non-contact sport.
They will take 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
They don't really have to go to college or whatever. Fine. Baseball, same.
That's not, but that's still out of the ordinary. I mean, isn't basketball now you have to do 1 year of college?
I think
think
one
they
and done.
changed
Yeah,
it.
you got to do 1 year. So you're 19. Or
So
20,
like,
yeah.
because Kobe, R.I.P. I don't think we talked about that. That was sad.
Yeah.
Kobe, LeBron.
There's
Couple
been many.
people that have
There's
walked,
been
yeah.
many.
But
yeah.
even Jordan went and played at UNC for a couple years before he went. So, but it's a good point. You're still, and they talk, and then you get into the brain talk about it. They say your brain's not really done developing until you're 25.
we just talked about 40. I'm 40 in my brain. I'm still 7.
Yeah,
Mentally.
because all those hits you had in football.
You're
that
right.
stopped
Yeah.
the
Right. Yeah.
development.
Because they let me play, varsity football as a freshman.
Oh man. But anyway, no matter what happens, we got 3 good prospects that hopefully they all choose to go to whatever WHL team picks them, and we get to see them play. So right now, Tri-City is right there. For those of you that don't know, that there's going to be 6 teams in the WHL that don't make the playoffs. Those 6 teams then get put into a lottery to where they figure out the 1 through 6 pecking order.
So these 3 aren't assigned to anybody yet.
No.
Okay.
Nope. And they won't be until May. It's usually right, I believe it's right after the WHL championship happens and then right before the Memorial Cup, if I remember right.
So who are, at this point, the 3 or the bottom teams that would have a better chance at getting one of these picks?
So I know in the West, it's Tri-City and Prince George right now.
Okay.
And then in the East, Swift Current is really bad, like really bad. Moose Jaw is really bad.
Really? I'm actually reading a book about
I've got the
Mr.
standings up right now too.
What's the bottom 4 in the East right now?
Hold on, I'm on wild card right now.
So it's, if I understand correctly, the bottom 4 would have a higher chance at picking one of the 3.
The bottom 6.
Oh, bottom 6.
But the West or the Eastern Conference has 2 more teams than the West, so they're bottom 4.
It's so insane to see like how much a difference makes in just a couple years. Like,
You're looking at Swift Current, aren't you?
well, Swift Current and Regina. Regina's at the bottom too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, but think about it. Regina sold off everything. Derek's giving me that Regina smells fun. You didn't sing your song last week.
No, I'm just like I
Are
want
you-
to sing
are you
my song.
quoting- Are you quoting Deadpool on that?
I might be.
No. Because you say it, I'm like, I don't think that's the line.
What? Regina spells fun?
No, it rhymes with fun.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Regina
And every
rhymes
time
with
every time you
fun.
say it on an episode, I was like, I got to tell him. I don't think that's right.
So Regina rhymes with fun?
Programming note.
Rhymes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Rhymes with fun.
That
Yeah.
makes more sense. in
Thank
my
you
head.
for your correction and fun fact of the day.
Yes.
I just
yes.
love that somehow Regina comes up in every episode.
Every episode. Even
Yeah, so
over
the
in
bottom
our
is-
other podcast, Regina comes up.
Yep.
But Regina sold off a lot because they hosted the Memorial Cup 2 years ago, so they
Yeah.
wanted to have a good team for that. Swift Current was doing really, really well, so they sold off a lot to win the league, which they did win the league, and they made a run at the Memorial Cup. But now 2 years removed.
They suck.
But think about it: the AMs 2 years removed from a Western Conference
Oh, yeah.
championship. And a lot of people say it's that Jake Bean trade that put him in this position. I don't agree with
No.
that. It wasn't just the Jake Bean trade. It's the fact of all the top end talent you had that suddenly left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
why
the
they're
thing-
here.
That's the thing about the WHL. I think a lot of people don't understand is a team can like be worst one season and then best in the next two.
Absolutely.
Like that's how much the WHL turns around.
Unless
like, at
you're
the bottom-
Everett. Everett has never missed the playoffs.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
16 years?
Those guys just do it right all the time.
I love that organization. And that's nothing against, like I know a lot of the inner workings here. The people here are great. Tri-City, they do
yeah.
their best. They do their best. But Everett, holy shit.
They are
I think
selling
they've just
out.
gotten lucky. Like
Yep.
they've had two different coaches, I think, at this point.
No, I think you're right too.
it's just
Constantine
two, yeah.
and Williams.
Yeah. But yeah, at the bottom of the East is Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Red Deer, and Regina. And then
Red
bottom of the
Deer.
West,
We got to get him
Red
on the
Deer
show
is-
sometime.
or Western is Tri-City, Prince George, Seattle, Kelowna.
And what is that separation now between Tri-City and Seattle? It's getting pretty big, isn't it?
Let's see. We have 35 points for Tri-Cities and then 48 points for Seattle.
Cool. Yeah, like a couple weeks ago, that was like
But
6.
That's
now it's 30.
insurmountable at this
Tri-Cities-
point of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Tri-Cities isn't the worst in the league. It's
I
Moose
know.
Jaw and Swift Current are below them.
I know. But here's the thing: Moose Jaw's in town this Friday night, so we're really gonna see like,
How bad we are.
A good tilt.
Yeah, maybe it probably would be a good game.
I think
Two
so.
evenly matched.
Yeah.
Well, a couple weeks ago, the Tri-City was up in Prince George. They always do a back-to-back because Prince George is like 800 miles away from everybody. So you do a back-to-back. The first night they got beat. The second night they won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of shows where everything's at right now.
Yep.
So everybody should go out to the Moose Jaw and Tri-City Americans game. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's going to be evenly matched. Battle of bottom standings.
And it's Valentine's Day. What else are you going to be doing on Valentine's Day? You're going to come watch hockey.
Exactly.
I
What
can
better
think
way to
of
get you in the
some
mood? What better way to get you in the mood than a hockey game?
If you're into that,
To
yeah,
watch
for
a bunch
sure.
of sweaty 16-year-old boys.
Okay, I'm out.
For that reason, I'm out.
And then inevitably there will be a bunch of 8-year-old boys taking their shirts off.
Ugh.
How do we still allow that?
I was so bummed
I don't
because
know.
I've noticed
I don't
over the
know.
last few games that like I feel like it's gotten moved to like
It
a
has.
whistle
An
blow.
inconspicuous time.
But the last time it was like it went on forever. I was like, aren't we done? Like,
Look, I'm not big on censorship and stuff, but I really think that needs to go away.
or
And
allow
in-
females to do it.
In this day and age that we live in, I just don't think little boys should be taking their shirts off.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to say anything, and I'm with you. As a dad, you wonder what sick fucks are checking.
Yeah,
their kids
you
out,
just
boy
don't
or
know
girl.
who's sitting in the arena. Like,
Exactly.
Okay, now I feel
it's
gross
just a
inside.
sick world.
It's just
Yeah.
it's the world we live in. But anyway, it's not going to die until the fans stop doing it. So, fans, stop doing it.
It's not going to die until the team stops.
Well, figure
doing
something
it.
out. Hand out. Okay, have a freaking promotion. Get somebody on board with like
Towels.
U.S. Linen or something. Yeah, hand out some Tri-City American towels, and then have the little kids wave the towels.
I can
during
get
that song
behind
or
that.
something like.
Kids
It
12
could
and
be like
under.
some kind of promotion thing, a Cotton Eye Joe
Right.
kind of towel or something, like maybe it's got Winger doing some kind of little hoedown kind of dance move on the towel,
Yep. Yep.
Maybe something like that. Because like
Figure it out.
You don't
this
have to
happen
take a shirt off.
in
you
all the
know what
games?
we do. You know what we do is just get a bunch of women to do it.
Oh fuck yeah.
That'll
Yeah, it'll get
stop
shut down
fast.
immediately.
You know what? I can
That'll
do it.
stop.
It'll go.
fast.
Banana cotton. And that would be it.
They can't arrest all of us.
Oh my goodness! I
How
hope.
many handcuffs you got?
Oh wow. Okay. So
Yeah, our barn doesn't have a jail cell
No,
in,
it
the, in the
doesn't.
basement.
Oh my God, we do. We've got holding cells.
Yeah, you guys would
Yeah.
have to.
NHL, most
I hear-
arenas do.
I hear it's only been used like once or twice.
Really?
So here's
Yeah.
here's the thing. As a Philadelphia fan, there was a legend that came out to be true. The old Veteran Stadium actually had a holding cell and a judge at every game.
Yeah.
because that's how much shit would happen.
Well, they did it because football games are on Sunday,
Yep.
and so they wouldn't be able to see a judge until Monday.
Right. So they just
So-
took care of it right there.
So they just took care of it right then and there, so that they didn't have to transport these guys
Right.
Yeah.
to the and make them stay overnight and then see a judge on Monday. Yeah,
and I think it's spilled over to the link. It's
happened,
still a
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Philadelphia's hardcore, dude.
they are hardcore.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
I got shout out to my cuz. I don't know if he listens or not, but Ray Marini.
Yeah, Ray.
He grew up on South 29th Street in South Philly. diehard Flyers fan.
But not a Gritty fan at all. He's a Fanatics fan though, right? He likes the Philly Fanatic.
absolutely. Yeah.
Does he feel like it's a ripoff?
best mascot in sport? He just kind of for the same reasons that just thought it was lazy and uninspired and just prolongs the stereotype that
He was very
Philadelphia people are
inspired.
just dirty
His
jerk
genius
offs.
marketing.
Yeah.
It was genius. I'm going to be honest. I kind of hope Gritty really did punch that kid in the back of the head.
Well,
I look at everybody.
this is part of the story that didn't get reported, but I'm not sure. I would think that as an organization, they probably let that guy go.
The one that was
in the suit. Yeah, I'm guessing that
Yeah.
they're like, we can't have this kind of stuff.
If
Even if it
that's
happened
what-
or didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless
which is insane. Like,
I know.
You just don't want your mascot in national news for assaulting kids.
Was there any
You guys-
video?
allegedly,
No
allegedly.
no video.
Of it? Then I call
but
bullshit.
like here's it is
With
because here's what
everybody,
happened.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
After the event, the father posted pictures of everything from the day. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what a fun day with the Flyers!" And he posted everything, even the picture with Gritty.
Yep.
Why? I
What a
don't.
dick.
If my kid got punched by fuzzball, wearing a Flyers uniform,
Yep.
I certainly wouldn't be like, "Hey, today was great," except for the part that he got.
Honestly,
You know what? Today
No,
was great.
that dude-
Just one little thing. My 8-year-old got assaulted by a mascot. No
That
big
is
deal.
bullshit.
The rest of the
That
day was
that
great.
dude was probably fishing for season tickets.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, but except the only part of that was I thought I read somewhere that he was a season ticket holder who then canceled his season tickets because from what I read, that event was actually a season ticket holder event.
Yeah.
You
So
know
I don't
what?
know.
I think it's a
Anyway.
bunch of bullshit because there is no way people are not recording that
Well-
this day and age on their phones. And second of all, you're a fucking moron. If anything, it was probably maybe he bumped his head or something
Right.
because he's such a big ass character.
All I'm saying is if I pay $350 for a fucking ticket to a game and that asshole throws a full sheet cake in my face, I'm going to be pissed off.
You do realize though that was choreographed.
All I'm saying.
I know. I got you. Like when I see those things,
I
I'm like,
agree.
holy shit. But when I watch and how the people react, it's choreographed.
He's an
Those
asshole.
guys know what's coming.
He's
So,
an asshole.
anyway. He might be. Most Philly people are.
But did you guys hear about the thing with? Did you guys hear about the thing with the Yeti in Colorado? They used to have a Yeti for the mascot in Colorado,
Right.
Love it.
And
Makes sense.
they got rid of it because that person actually did assault a fan.
Oh my god.
And
God.
so now they got rid of the foot logo because it had something to do with the Yeti, and they now have a Saint Bernard.
They just totally. Oh.
Are you
Because a
serious?
cuddly puppy could
Yes,
never
this
hurt
is a
anybody.
real thing that happened. It's a real thing that happened.
Walks around with a little barrel under.
Yeah, does he have a barrel of like whiskey in his?
Yeah. No, he does. He's got it under his neck. Seriously.
That is hilarious.
I wonder if it's
I
crack
think
and
his
rum.
name is Bernie, the Saint Bernard.
Of
Bernie.
course it is.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Oh god. Well,
and,
so that would
I'll
be
say-
that would be legitimate then.
Yeah. but I'll say it here. It's going to be Seattle Kraken and a Sockeye as the mascot. I'm calling it.
I don't want to talk about this right now. Not this late in the show.
it.
We'll talk
Calling
again.
it.
I did hear the other day. What did I hear? Something about
He's talking
March.
about it.
The team said March.
He's talking about it.
I'm just going
I
to
heard-
throw.
yeah.
Like I think it was an official announcement by the team that said March. So
Yeah, whatever. I don't believe it's going to happen.
Until they announce some kind of like little gathering outside of Kia Arena, like they did for Vegas,
press
you know?
conference or
I'm
something.
not gonna hold my breath on it. Like I'm anxious. I'm definitely anxious for it, and I really want to see what it is. But they're just definitely just drumming up the hype quite a bit, and I'm to the point now where I'm just kind of over the hype, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just announce it.
Seattle, let's get cracking. Yeah, I did that. With that in mind, we're running a little low on time here, but there is something cool coming to Seattle, which is going to be right next door to the Seattle Center, which is where the new arena is currently being prepared.
Yes.
I believe March 7th through the 10th. The NHL has put together a Black History Month tour, which our boy Kwame, man, I'm saying a lot here. Kwame has helped put this together. It's kind of a traveling museum of black players in the league, the history with Carnegie, Willie O'Ree, people like that. The other day he was in Toronto with it, and Akil Thomas was there, who, if you don't know who Akil Thomas is, he scored either the game-tying or the game-winning goal for Canada this year at the World Junior Championship.
Just saw a nice post with video of Subban.
Yep,
So
they were in
PK,
New
it was
Jersey
pretty
last night, so
awesome.
PK
Yeah.
and Wayne Simmons were hanging out. But March 7th through the 10th, or the 8th through the 10th, or something like that, they're going to be in Seattle. And on March 8th, they're at Seattle Center. That's a Sunday. And I'm going to say it right now, Anya and I, at least, are going to go up for at least the day and hang out up there and see this traveling exhibit. I think it's going to be a great thing. Anybody that's in Cascadia right now that hears it, that, over that weekend, if you get a chance to go check this out, I really think it's a good eye-opener. Like I said, Kwame is somebody that we love and we trust, and he's done a really good job with this. He just did a piece the other day with Wyclef Jean on the NHL Network, a piece that he
Nice.
directed. It's really cool that the league has slowly but surely taken on the hockey is for everyone mantra, and they've put their money where their mouth is.
Now they can put their money where their mouth is with the female women's hockey league.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, March 8th,
Yeah.
Seattle Center.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good that we're starting to see things really start to ramp up for Seattle too. Like,
Yep.
I mean, aside from like the name and stuff, we're really starting to see like, hockey being shown a lot more in the area, and things that they're doing, like these events and whatnot. It's really cool that it's starting to bloom.
Yes, if you haven't already, go to, I believe it's NHL Seattle, or NHL.com/Seattle. That takes you to their official page, and you can sign up for their email newsletter, which has great information. To me, Seattle really is buying into the mantra of support local hockey. They just did a big piece about the Winthrop rink,
Yeah.
the outdoor
So
rink up in Winthrop, which
cool.
looks so rad. They did like a 3-minute
Finally saw
featurette
the
on
pictures
it.
of that. It's a really neat
awesome.
facility.
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself that I'd never played a tournament there, because there's been several opportunities, but it's just I've had
Really?
one excuse or the other, money or work or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've
Our
never made
buddy
it up there.
Dan from West Side Story, he has his daughter went up and played over there, and he said it's gorgeous over there.
Yeah, he had some pictures from it. I really want to go check it out. It looks like it's a sleepy town. There's like less than 1,000 people in Winthrop, but it's all a community
Yeah.
thing that they put together. So, but they did a featurette on that. They did a feature of the over 50 hockey players in Seattle. They're really,
Hey, you could go do that soon, can't you, Derek?
Oh my!
Wow, she did. She did. But anyway, they're embracing not just hockey in Seattle, but hockey in the Northwest, which
Yeah,
I think is awesome.
And they need to build, the overall long-term stability of an NHL franchise is going to be regional. It's not
Absolutely.
just the city of Seattle.
Right.
So they're doing it right, man. I'm telling you, those high-priced, six-figure consulting firms that
yep.
they hired 2 years ago laid out a fantastic plan.
Yep. And the fact that I think you've got some really good people in there, and all the females that they're hiring for front office jobs, for Cami Granato being on the scouting crew, I think is great. I'm excited. I'm like you, Kyle. Once it happens, it happens. Until then, whatever. Just get cracking, Seattle.
So the Black History Museum that's coming, that you guys are going to, is there like, do they have? Is there any former players that are anybody that with them? Are they doing a? Is it just exhibits? Or there's a talk? Is there somebody speaking of it? Do you?
So each place they've gone to, it's been kind of regional to who's in that area. Like when they were in Toronto, that's where Akil Thomas is from. This past week in New Jersey, well, actually last night, I think it was PK and Wayne Simmons. I don't know who you would get. There hasn't been anything announced. Bottom line, there hasn't been anything announced. Okay. There's 4 days in one city. That's going to be one of their longer stops.
Sure.
So I would imagine something.
So there's Vancouver. There's
NHL Seattle has also been promoting it a lot in their email list, which tells me they are going to be involved somehow.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, maybe that's something that's going to center around an announcement of the name.
It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's March.
Yeah.
And they have said March.
How cool!
How cool is that? If that day we're there and they announce it.
Okay,
bring me back a hat, mofo.
I will. We'll see if we're there. Yeah, that's awesome. We're at Ground Zero.
I mean, I hope you guys get to go. I hope you do see it. I mentioned when Kwame was on the episode, one of the best experiences of my life was seeing Buck O'Neill make a presentation on the Negro Leagues and stuff like that. Was fantastic. So it's really cool that this is available, and I would encourage anybody to go check it out.
Absolutely. You've got 4 days to choose from up there in Seattle. So
well, the cool thing is this is kind of a tie-in, 2 new AHL teams coming soon.
Yes. 2 new AHL teams. Palm Springs has already been that's going right now. That will be the NHL Seattle team. But then Kyle, I believe something happened in Vegas this week with the AHL.
Sorry, San Antonio. Dude, they're so mad, and I don't blame them. It sucks. I hate that, a city's got to lose their hockey team, but at the same time, it's just the nature of the business, I guess. The Rampage are going to be moving over here. I've heard so many rumors, but I'm excited that we're going to get our guys here. Like Dolan Coghlan is a former Tri-City American.
Yep.
So cool.
I got to chat with him when he was here playing in the preseason, and oh my God, he was living it up. He loved it.
Coghlan, Kolzar, Cody Glass played there before. I mean, Glass is more with the big club now, but he was with Chicago last year.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see familiar faces, and so it'll be awesome because I here's what I understand is that rink in Henderson that's being built right now is not where they're going to be playing. They're going to build another one in kind of the southern part of Henderson where the Raiders practice facility is going to go.
Interesting.
So there's a whole development going up in kind of southern Henderson, closer to a place called the M. Mm-hmm. And it's just blowing up with business and housing and stuff. So I think that's where they're going to put
real estate there,
right?
Seriously, and housing here is cheap. So it's pretty nice. But
all the D-gens pay for everything there.
D-gens come up country.
Exactly.
Are both teams poached? Or is Palm Springs an expansion?
Palm Springs is an expansion.
So one expansion, one relocation.
Yep.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, the Rampage are now going to be part of Vegas.
Yeah.
So how it works is, I think what's going to happen, I don't know what's going to happen to the unsigned, the non-NHL signed players. But I think what's going to happen is our players who are on Chicago are going to come here.
Right.
And then, as far as their players who are signed to a team, I don't know. But the players that are, I imagine they might just go to Chicago.
A swap.
Somebody's going to absorb something. Those players are going to have a place to go because they have contracts.
Right.
But if there's a player I don't even know who the Rampage is.
I don't know. Colorado. It's Colorado. I think it's Colorado, isn't it?
Yeah, because that was where Lukin went for a little bit.
Yeah, and what's his name? Hamonic. Hamonic was in the Colorado organization, and he played with San Antonio.
Okay, they are currently on the St. Louis Blues. So what the big speculation is now, because the Chicago Wolves used to be St. Louis Blues affiliate.
Okay.
So I think what's going to happen is they're just going to merge all of the St. Louis players that are still signed with San Antonio. They'll probably just go to Chicago.
The Wolves, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then anyone that's kind of in between, It'll just feel like a 3-way kind of like trade or something like that, because I think anyone that's like, not signed to an NHL team, but it has a contract, just an A contract with San Antonio and Chicago, they're just going to all merge into like, well, I think we'll probably get some of those San Antonio players that don't have an NHL team, but yeah, it should be exciting. It's good to see. Like, let me rephrase. It's insane to see how much hockey has been embraced down here in Vegas. Like, I see so many places people are, assuming that people in Vegas don't know hockey because it's new here. And yeah, there are fans who are brand new to hockey, and I don't see any problem with, the growth of hockey. I don't know why anyone would, rag on that. It's your turn to choke and fall off of the.
Oh, we lost Derek.
And I'm dead.
We lost Derek. But yeah, it's great that the city loves it so much. There are fans here who like prior teams, and it's funny because everybody that I work with, or most people that I work with, grew up on a different team. So we've got fans from Buffalo. We got fans that It's funny because it's like we have dual teams, and one of the guys, he's a big Buffalo fan, and another guy used to work and live in Chicago, so he's a big Chicago fan. Like, it was funny. He came to practice, and we were watching Chicago practice and just kind of chatting. And players would skate by the glass where we were standing, and they'd give him a wave. And I was like, man, you really were there for a bit, weren't you? So it's cool to see, because it's I think that's a really unique part about Vegas, and I think we're going to see the same thing with Seattle, where there's going to be a lot of people who are fans of teams prior to still hold on to them in some aspect. Like, I still love the Red Wings. I still follow them. I still want them to do well, but I also want that minus 100 goal differential, because that'd be hilarious. They're at minus 95 right now. We're almost there.
Nice.
Maybe 1 or 2 more games. But yeah, it's exciting to see the growth. It's exciting to see kind of how hockey is exploding here, and I'm excited to see how well it does in Seattle. I'm sure it'll have a lot of success as well. So I'm curious, because everybody's speculating that like Vancouver is going to be their main rival, but like everybody kind of expected LA to be Vegas's rival, and it ended up being San Jose. San Jose ended up being kind of like our blood rivalry, and then so I'm excited to see kind of who Seattle butts heads with the most.
I wonder how does that happen?
I was going to say, didn't San Jose, didn't they play each other like 2 years in a row in a pretty
in the playoffs,
hot playoffs?
Yeah.
So that immediately, cements.
It's more so an evenly matched team. It's just when you start, fiercely competing against each other, like it just kind of forms that way. San Jose, like, even though they're not doing great right now, they're still probably the most hated team in the city.
Oh yeah, for sure.
By far.
You talk about that negative 100 goal differential. I just want to throw a stat out there. Right now, the Tri-City Americans goal differential is negative 102.
Holy shit.
Beat you to it.
However,
I didn't see it. I pulled up the stats and I didn't see it on there.
124 goals for, 226 goals against. However, the Prince George Cougars are negative 150.
Holy
my
Moses
goodness.
Malone.
Yes, so
That's a fucking embarrassment.
there's your fun fact for the day.
Fucking
The Seattle
Fucking
Thunderbirds.
pheasants.
Seattle Thunderbirds that are in a playoff position have an even worse. Oh wait, no, never mind. Oh fuck, never mind, guys. Prince George is only a 50 goal differential, and
Okay.
Seattle is 46, negative 46.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Ams are killing everybody. In that stat. Anyway,
We're the best at being the worst.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun draft though.
I know it's tough for folks and fans in Tri-Cities, but it's
part of the
just
game.
power through it. Be there, support the guys. Let them know you're still there, and
Yep.
That's why you're a fan of the game.
It definitely means a lot to them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you don't realize it, but these players definitely like pay attention to what the fans are saying on social media. They do.
Oh,
They
yeah.
see it, and how heartbreaking would it be to see a lot of that shit that your own fans are saying about you? Like,
Oh, for sure.
It's a rough season. It happens. Like, they're doing what they can to make sure that the future is good, and it is.
Yep.
The future is good for Tri-Cities. So
I haven't been
go to the
since
games.
before Christmas. How has attendance been?
It's been steady.
Has it really?
And
Okay.
honestly,
Steady and low.
Well, I mean, steady as far as 3,000 to 3,500 is kind of your average.
That's a good crowd for us.
That's what we were averaging the year when they went all the way to the Western Conference Finals. But I do have to say, fans have been really supportive. Not necessarily on social media, but live, where I think it really counts.
Yeah.
They've been very supportive. I haven't heard the gentleman in section N too much recently, so I don't know if he's not there anymore, which I seriously doubt is the case, or if somebody finally put a muzzle on him. So
I know people. We went and had a talk.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been taken care of.
Seriously.
I know who you're talking
I was
about,
like,
man.
okay, that's awesome. I want to hear this.
I know who you're talking about too, and he's just. I think he's. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He's also I see him on like social media a lot too, and just kind of the way he like talks to the people. He seems very kind of like, I don't know.
His mother didn't hug him enough.
No.
Just be cool, man.
Even
That's
though he
all.
still lives
Just be
with
cool. Just be cool.
In the basement.
Just chill, dude. These are kids, man. Have fun. Have fun.
I've decided I'm starting to like label these people who are just total asshats in the comments, and I call them Yelpers. They're Yelpers. They only go on there if they have something to bitch about. When the team's winning and doing great, then they're nowhere to be seen. People just thrive on being a whiny lame ass.
Yeah.
They just love drama. They have to surround themselves in it, and they're like, oh, I haven't been to an Ams game in 10 years, but they're losing, so I'm going to go in and just be an asshole.
Yep.
you know that's like what's going on. Like there's a couple of exceptions. Some people are, they probably go to the games and wish that they were seeing wins, but and I get it. Winning's fun, but that hasn't been happening.
Losing's not fun, but what is fun? Loyalty. Loyalty is fun, and it gets rewarded well. So
and dollar hot dog night.
Oh man, and Mr. Butt is still serving his 12-game suspension right now. So
that's right.
He's still got like 3 or 4 games left. Actually, Everett came to town for the first time the other night, and I was like, oh yeah, Dawson is still suspended. So. Anyway, we are way over on time today, and I don't even feel like we scratched the surface. No, not your bad at all, dude.
It is.
We talked a lot about hatred in the beginning and all that
Kyle.
stuff. Fuck you, Kyle. Dude, it was good to have you, man. I'm glad we finally got a Tuesday with you.
Dude, you have no idea like how much I listen, and I just like I try to like chime in, and I'm like, oh yeah,
wait,
it's one way. It's one way. I'm an idiot. I'm like, no, Derek, Gritty is awesome. Stop.
See, we could have a whole fucking conversation about that between you guys. So,
oh no, I get it. Like, I get your frustration and your disliking and your absolute hatred, and you just hate fun. No, I'm kidding.
Just a miserable fuck that doesn't love anything and is incapable of being loved myself.
No,
I get it.
I love hearing all you guys. I love tuning in. It's always fun. I miss doing it because I don't have that kind of outlet down here. So
yeah,
not yet anyway. Like I'm still kind of like working, and then I just go home and sleep, and I don't have a whole lot of like downtime to go out and just be like, hey, want to be my friend? But
well,
that sounds way sadder.
That
than
extra
it is.
special happy moment was brought to you by Kyle.
Exactly. I have no friends. No,
Kyle
I
needs
definitely-
friends.
Kyle, do you
I'm
just
definitely making friends down here. I'm enjoying Vegas. But nobody's been like, yeah, D&D's cool or podcasting's cool. Like I haven't met those friends yet. The D&D and the podcast folks, I haven't.
I would
run
think
into
there
yet.
would be a shit ton of those
know.
people down there.
Well, no,
It's
people down
so
there
weird.
actually have
Like,
reasons to live, so they don't
the mood down here is so much different. Like I'm sure you guys know this, but I grew up in Nevada when I was a lot younger,
Right.
and from like 3rd grade to after high school. I graduated high school in Elko, and when I moved back here, it just kind of felt like I just moved to a big Elko. It just kind of felt. I mean, it really did. It felt like just the attitude that people have and the way that people are to each other, and it's familiar, and it's different than it is in like Washington or North Carolina or other places I've lived. And that's what I think is kind of unique about it. And I'm not saying this is in a bad way for any place I've lived at all. Like it's just it's like the theme is different in a way.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Vegas is a very unique place, even outside the Strip. If anyone listening or you guys ever come to Vegas, come find me, and I'll show you guys kind of more of the unique parts of Vegas that you don't really like see or hear about.
Come find you, like we're going to sneak in and out on a Friday night to Vegas. And sorry, Kyle, we didn't have a chance to hook up with you while we were there.
Dude,
come on.
There was someone I was in the Army with. They came to town, and they were like, "Who's in Vegas?" And I'm like, "I'm in Vegas." And they were like, "Okay." And I never saw them. I'm like, all right, fuck you too then, I guess.
Wow. They didn't say fuck you, Kyle. They just flipped the middle finger and walked away.
Yeah. It was a couple. I served with both of them at one point in my career.
Maybe they got so drunk and forgot.
They weren't like besties or anything. They were just kind of people I worked with, and I thought it'd be cool if I saw them, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. So
And on
whatever.
And on that note, the moral of the story is, if you see Kyle, give him a hug.
He needs friends.
I'll just hit record and I'm like, all right, we're doing a podcast right now.
Let's go.
Oh man,
but Vegas is treating me well. It really is. I love it.
Good.
So.
All right. Well, on that note, now I think I've said that 4 times now. We've
out.
got a lot of notes we're ending on.
We
today.
out.
Just buriedpuckthreads.com, buriedpuck.com, bpthc.com, Fake Cascadia, Facebook. I don't know. You'll just find us. Whatever.
Look at the show notes.
Look at the show notes. It'll be in there. And my wife's pretty face will be there, so you want to see it. Anya, any parting words?
Peace out. I gotta pee. We gotta go.
Okay. Derek?
KyleNeedsAHug.com.
KyleNeedsAHug.com.
It's already a website.
It's already there.
It's a picture of me sad.
Kyle, good to have you.
On the main page.
Good to have you, buddy.
Absolutely.
We need to make this
Thanks.
happen more often, so I'll send that payment down to your bosses to hopefully give you a Tuesday off from here to there, or here and there. So.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for spending 4 hours with us today, and until next time, a 3, a 2, a 1.
Tell your mom to top up the credit card she gave me so I can get some fucking KFC.
What the fuck?